Hi everyone, it's Debra Kasowski, and today I'm going to talk to you about the messiness of change and how you can navigate it. Have you ever known that there's a change you need to make in your life and you just put up this wall, this resistance? Maybe it's because you're not completely aware of what needs to be changed. But there's something just not right. But until it affects you or impacts your life, often no changes get made. So when you have this awareness that a change needs to be made, you also might see that some resistance creeps up because we like to stay in our comfort zone, and our comfort zone is safe. And if we step out of that comfort zone, we're stepping even into a more uncertain area. And when we have awareness, and awareness is huge. So when you have awareness that a change needs to be made, that's the beginning of transformation. And it's beautiful. And I know that you're like, Deb, but I have fears. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Well, one of the things to acknowledge with changes that take place, most changes are not smooth. And we need to be able to acknowledge that change requires time and transition of moving one state to another state. So at times it can get a little bit messy, but the biggest thing is being able to trust that everything is unfolding as it should be. And I know that people like, trust it. I want to have control over it. And that's our natural tendency. We want to be able to control what's going on. But in fact, when we put in the effort, do the action steps that we know that we need to do, we can move through change. And when you have the desire to follow through on the change, then what you need to do is build in the knowledge, build in your ability so that you increase your confidence. You're going to have courage to take actions that are necessary to get the results that you want. And with this courage comes confidence, speaking with conviction, and taking inspired action to get the results that you want. Now, if you're not getting the results that you want and you're thinking about the changes that you're making, I want you to go back to thinking, what are you thinking? What is influencing the way you're thinking right now? Now, it's not often that we are thinking about how we think, but if you ask yourself the question, what am I thinking right now? And if you can see what you are thinking, bring to awareness of what you're thinking, though what you're thinking right now is actually driving the actions that you're taking. Now, these can be internal and external beliefs. So internal could be just beliefs that you've been holding from childhood, beliefs that you hold about certain topics, situations. It could be external, which could be the podcast you listen to, the books you listen to. And all of these things, like the TV shows, impact how you're thinking, how you're feeling about certain situations, and the actions that you're willing to take to get the results that you want. So ask yourself, what are you thinking before you move into action? How are you feeling about a situation, your experiences? See, Richard Barrett, in his book, What a Soul Told Me, he talks about having every situation to look at it as neutral. Because everyone comes from a situation looking at it from their own lens, their own perspective. Now, if you could look at a situation from a neutral perspective, and this takes me to the Chinese farmer parable, where one day this wild horse comes on the yard and one of the other farmers says, "Oh, you're so lucky." And he says, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Then the next thing you know, his son is riding the horse and taming the horse, and his son falls and breaks his leg. "Oh, how terrible for you," the other farmer would say. And he says, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Then a war is about to break out and they are looking for soldiers and his son cannot go. And again, they said, "Oh, your son can't go. That's very fortunate." And he says, "Maybe yes, maybe no." And now if we can look at situations from a neutral perspective and think, could we view it from that it's going to be terrible? Or could we also view that what is the gift in this? What is the lesson here for us? And when we can see that there is a gift in every situation, it all depends on the meaning we give an event. So whether it's positive or negative depends on the meaning we decide to give it. Otherwise, when we stay neutral, we are able to see different perspectives before we make any changes, take any action, and we're not attached to the outcome. The more you trust the process of the actions that you're taking, you will be delighted to see what outcomes you take. As long as you're building that momentum and you're continually moving into action, knowing that and trusting yourself that everything's going to work out and you can adjust the course at any time. Now, like I said, it can get messy, but it doesn't mean it's going to be terrible. So it's all about the matter of perspective and looking at what are the resources I have available to me, people, places, time, knowledge that I can tap into, that to really draw on to show up as my best self. Are there any beliefs that you need to let go of to move into action? What is the narrative that you're telling yourself? Go back to the questions and go back to, what am I thinking about right now? And watch what happens and transforms. And I highly recommend a book by Dr. Marilee Adams called Change Your Questions, Change Your Life. When we come from a place of being in judgment, we don't have the space or capacity to see ourselves as a learner. And one of the things that Albert Einstein says is question everything. So no matter where you are in change, the messiness of change, question everything. And you can move through looking at different perspectives and building and creating what you want in your life. Thank you for watching this video. Have a wonderful day.